Hi, comic book fans. It's a Monday night. It's the price variance. I'm here with everybody's favourite Canadian, Alan. And Alan has curated a list for us looking at the top sales at Heritage last week. And the extent of the work he did was he literally took the top 10 sales. So very little curation this week. Consequently, we've got a lot of spiders attacking us this week.
Mhm.
Over on Alan's channel, out of 5 comics we looked at, all of them was Amazing Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
if you're an Amazing Spider-Man collector and you want to know how Spider-Man is performing in the markets, and
this is definitely the episodes for you.
this is the episode for you, although you may not want to watch it. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. I am going to share my screen and let's crack on. Guess what, guys? The first comic today is Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Yeah, and this was the most expensive Amazing Spider-Man sale. So yeah, so it's a
It's a
it's a
2.
two-oh. So yeah, I think this seems like a more reasonable price for this book. I
100.
know it was probably more expensive at one point, but
Alan, can
yeah,
you explain to me why this is a 2-0? Look, I mean, this sure, okay, down here it's lost some color.
yeah, it looks like a little bit along the bottom edge and the bottom corner there look a little bit
If you look
iffy.
at the rest of it,
I know the rest of it, like probably what happened is this one has water damage. That's a typical sign of water damage,
yeah,
where what you see is like if it's in a bag,
yeah,
it'll collect the water at the bottom and then kind of rot that little bottom part.
okay, there you are. I think that's quite a good 2-0.
Yeah, it is quite nice.
Right,
It looks like, as I said, look, if you look at the Spider-Man, the like the where it says Spider-Man,
yeah,
the letters are not consistently red. It looks like a little bit of color loss has
yeah,
been is there as well.
yeah,
So I think it's water damage, is my guess.
yeah.
I'm guessing.
Okay, okay.
So yeah,
You
but
sold
6,100.
6,180 for a 2-0.
Yeah. And this is like the first Jonah Jameson. And it's also the first, I believe, Chameleon, right?
Yes, first Chameleon, and it's the
Yeah.
first Fantastic Four crossover, isn't it?
Yeah. So lots of firsts. It's a great book. And it's the first Amazing Spider-Man, first titled Spider-Man comic. So yeah.
Right. Let's see. Is it up or down?
Well, it's going to be down, but how down is it? But
It
it's still above the trend line. It looks a little bit more.
actually in this that graph is hasn't got this sale on it.
Oh
So
no.
that down there is 5.8. So it's actually up significantly from that. It's up $1,000.
Oh, nice.
So it's back up to this sort of level here. Uh,
Okay.
about that, about yeah, there. It's about there on that flat bit there. So
So
um,
it's recovering. This one's kind of not just stabilized, but slightly gone up.
yeah, I'd just say this one here was a rogue sale. So yeah, yes, I think I agree with you. Stabilizing,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
and it's stabilizing on trend line on the pre-COVID trend.
Yeah. I think, I'm sort of the belief that the trend is your friend, like as you said before. And eventually what's going to happen is there are people that are going to get some amazing deals this year, but next year things are going to be much more stable and on that trend line would be my guess.
Yeah.
So, things will overcorrect sometimes, but this one it looks like it's never overcorrected, and just sort of gradually got back to the trend line.
So one of the debates that I haven't yet seen on all the media, because I get bombarded with stuff about the American election with Trump and Kamala Harris. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen any of them discuss which of them will be better for the comic market.
Well, actually, there was a channel that did discuss that. I actually think, well, Trump overall would be better for the comic book market, personally, I think, because he's better for the economy. And when people have money, they have or excess money. they generally will spend it on excesses, which are comics. Comics are like a luxury. Right now, the U.S. and pretty much the world, it seems, it's a little bit struggling financially speaking. High inflation and weak economy overall. And
Yeah.
I think you get a person that seems to be good on the economy in power, and things generally improve. So I think it comics will benefit from that.
Right.
Would be my guess.
Okay. Thank you for that analysis.
So
Now,
what do you think? What.
um, yeah, I think you're probably right. I'm not Trump's biggest supporter,
Oh,
uh,
I know that,
but I
but
think right on the economy. I think he probably. I don't think he has the faintest clue about the economy, but he surrounds himself with advisors that do.
mhm,
And he sort of sets a general trend, and they go in that direction. And I think that general trend that he sets will you're right, be
mhm.
better for the
Okay.
market. So yes, um, I mean, just trying to listen to the guy talk about economy is just it's like watching a kindergarten teacher. Anyway, right.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's move on. Sorry, guys, it's very disappointing. That is the last Spider-Man.
That is the last Spider-Man. I knew there was one more.
The next comic is not Spider-Man. Right, here we go. It is Showcase number 22, the first appearance of Hal Jordan, I believe.
Yeah, it's really nice to see this one on the list. This one is, I think, really down as well, but it is a great book.
This won't be as much down. This is a solid key.
It is a solid key, but I think I remember going for more. Um, I I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. I remember it going. I think it's $1,000 a point. So maybe this is in that range, though.
It is in that range.
Um,
Oh, this is nearly my birthday book as well.
nice. I mean, it's a very cool book. I like the fact that it really changes the whole Green Lantern lore. It's the
Yeah.
same concept of the ring and all, but now it's a galactic thing. Whereas the original Green Lantern was more about magic.
Yeah. Very good.
So
Right.
yeah,
6,300 for a 5/5. It's down, but
it's down. Yeah.
I mean, this didn't have a huge COVID.
What was the COVID price? Like 10,000 or
COVID
something?
price is 9/5.
Yeah, that's what I think I remember.
If you go to pre-COVID, 6/3, so it's now exactly at its pre-COVID price.
Yeah, but this one looks like it has a bit of a almost like a step, like
There's a step here.
yeah, it's like a step
Uh,
progress rather than a
15,
natural trend line.
18. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sell that often. It's a pretty rare book. I mean, when we were talking about the Spider-Man ones, it was like 2,000 to 5,000 in terms of the census. Look at the
This is
census on this
we
one,
know DC is always less, and this is no exception. This is
like 1,200, like
1,200 Universal.
universals. Yeah. So I mean, you gotta, and that's actually a lot for this book. That's a lot. That's actually a pretty big census for DC books. Um, so yeah. And this to me is a bigger key than any of the keys that we talked about so far.
Oh, I agree. You think there's
Um,
a bigger key than Amazing Spider-Man 1?
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it introduces a pretty major character for DC, right? Hal Jordan is, I wouldn't say I'd say he's like A or B plus tier or A tier, you know what I mean? Kind
Yeah,
of villain, a hero, I mean.
yeah, he'd be
Um,
sat on the second table.
yeah. I mean, he is Justice League, he is like a whole bunch of things, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so yeah, I don't know. And then there's no like, Amazing Spider-Man #1 doesn't really have that same level of tier. Like, there's no major first appearance comparatively.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
okay.
Okay, so that one's okay. That one did all right.
Hmm.
Oh, Fantastic Four #1
And a low grade, like this is like a 1/8.
and a 1/8. With a nice
Looks
color
very
label,
yellow too. It doesn't present that well.
browned quite heavily. Yeah, quite a lot of browning. I mean, what does it say on the color?
I bet it's brittle pages, or is it brittle
No,
or
into
cream?
off-white.
Oh, that's interesting. But it has a custom label that adds thousands to the value. So
And
yeah,
it looked better. I do say I do actually quite like the custom labels. I do.
on this one, yeah, it's really good. I like when the custom label makes sense.
Yes, I only when I because I have had a few slabbed recently, and I only ever use the custom label if it matches the comic. So the
Yeah,
last sorts of comics I had done, I was having a Fantastic Four with Magneto on the cover on it, and they had a Magneto special X-Men label. So it looks really
yeah.
good.
Okay. So yeah, so this is like to me, this is the book that saved Marvel. So and actually really started the whole Marvel franchise. Um, so yeah, just a great book. Whole bunch of first appearances. Yeah, really set that superhero trend for Marvel. So great book.
Yeah, and the Fantastic Four movie
And
coming.
actually, a friend of mine just picked this up,
Really?
and he got it for a steal. Actually,
What grade
uh,
did you get?
I think it's either a 2.0 or a 3.0 maybe, and he didn't pay as much. I can't say that. I can't say what he paid because confidentiality, but he got a good price on it.
You got a
But
good.
it's a raw copy, which
Yeah,
is always
yeah.
a bit of a
Well, you
nice.
expect a discount for raw copy. Yeah, so 6,900 for a 1/8. Let's have a look. Flat. It's been flat.
Yeah, there was a bit of a spike and then it's flat.
It's been
You
flat.
know, you know what's interesting about this one? I would almost expect a new spike.
Yeah, I think we're a bit slightly too soon. You need to. We'll
Have a
still get
trailer.
a bit of Fantastic Four hype, won't we, next year, towards the end of the year, I suspect.
Yeah, I mean, though, I guess there was a semi trailer released at was it San Diego Comic Con, one of those Comic Cons where there was like a little teaser trailer. It's like the cameo trailer where they don't actually release it to the to the general audience. They just release it at like some Comic Con, and some people record it on their cell phones, even though you're not supposed to. Um, but yeah, so I mean, this one I would expect to jump soon, like to be one of those ones where people get all excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get on board, you need to get on board now because I agree with you. This will, if the movie is any good,
Yeah.
this is going to affect Fantastic Fours.
Now the odds of the movie being any good are
Yeah,
pretty low.
exactly.
It's a cursed franchise.
It's.
Like,
I think that's why it hasn't gone up, Alan. I think that's why it
mm,
hasn't gone up because it's not. It's got the track record of Fantastic Four movies. He's not good, although they
yeah.
have actually employed people that can act. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I wish though that they kept the original Mr. Fantastic though. The one that was used in the
oh
Doctor
yeah,
Strange
I don't.
movie.
Did he want to do it? I'm not sure he did. The one got
I don't know.
the one that got blown up in the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, I thought he was a good choice for Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, no, actually, actor wise, I actually thought the choices that the first Fantastic Four series of movies. I thought the guy that played that he did look like Reed Richards. He was kind of more skinny faced
Yeah.
and he had the hair too. So I don't know. I'm hoping it will be good. I'm hoping it will be good. That's
Oh, Frost. Um,
yeah. So what's the census on this one?
um, 3,000.
Okay, that's sort of a mid range in terms
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
census numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is stabilized. It's not going down anymore. It's been at the same price for a year, slightly up. So that's okay.
Mhm.
Next up. Oh, goodness, Alan, what the heck is this? This is that right down your street.
This is down my street. So this is a major one. Um, this is Famous Monsters number 4.
Mhm.
Um, and this is like a really hard book to find. So the way one of the things where a lot of these like Warren Publishing books, um, they're they're actually relatively easy to get compared to other things of the same era.
Birthday book, August 1959.
Oh,
You
cool,
better send
cool.
me your copy of this as a
I
present.
have 2 copies of it actually.
Yeah, okay. Well, you need to.
Yeah. Well, I can't because there's a variant. I have the
Oh,
variant as well.
okay.
So I have this is the non-variant. But what it was is at the back pages of all their magazines, they
Mhm.
would put you could order the back issues.
Yeah,
So with comics, they would destroy. They would have the remainder copies. Well, with Warren, whatever they published, um, they um, they would have like you could back order it. So this was one of the ones that disappeared really quickly. So I think within like 1 or 2 issues later, there was no back issues of this book. So I think what happened was they underprinted it, and it was one that had sold out really really quickly. So it was always one of the more expensive issues. So this after number one's obviously the most expensive, but this would be the next most expensive issue because
right.
it's just a harder one to
Right.
get.
It's a low print. Yeah.
Low print, harder to get. Also, it's a hard one to get in high grade. The Marvel magazines were notorious for spine splitting, and also this all black cover like this.
The Warren magazine, do you mean?
Yeah, Warren magazines. Yeah, they these all black covers would show spine ticks and
Really,
like
really difficult to get that.
yeah. So to see it in a 9.0 is a really high grade. So yeah. Were you able to find this on the census
Yes.
or on the Go
Oh,
Collect? Okay, so let's see how it did.
there you go. It's a record.
Oh, it's a record! Yay! We got one record this week. So far, one record.
It's a record because it's the only one.
Yeah.
I'm
Well.
not sure how many there are. There's only, we've been talking 3 to 5,000 on the census up to now. There's
Mhm.
97 of these. It shows how rare it is. Um,
I mean, I think there's more of them out there than 97, right? Because
yeah.
like most people don't bother getting their
Um,
magazines graded, but it does show you how rare it is. It is a rarer book. Definitely one that is hard to get. Actually, if you scroll up, the image that they show at the top is the variant. So some of them will have that Ghoul's Eye sticker on it, and you can ride the Ghoul's Eye ride. Okay.
that is it.
Um, at Coney Island kind of thing. It's a
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah, so that ticket would give you the ability to go there
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
get
yeah,
a free ride.
yeah.
Um, and so those ones are even more rare because that was sort of like a ratio, that I think it was 1 in 50 or 1 in 100 would have that Ghoul's Eye sticker. So those ones go for a lot more money. Even in beat up grades, they go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Right.
So
This is the type of thing I love to find in a an auction. Somebody's got no. A lot of the people in the UK will have not have a clue about this. So
yeah.
if somebody takes a load of comics to like auction, they'll just shove this in a box and not
Mhm.
clue what it is.
I have seen it where there was one auction that I won, where I actually got the Ghoul's Eye one, where it was just like Monster Magazines was
Yeah,
was the title of the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
listing.
yeah,
I think I paid like $100 or $200, because there was a bunch in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But like the Ghoul's Eye Monster number 4, Famous Monsters 4, was worth more than the rest of the thing, and so
Yeah.
everything else was bonus. So yeah, some people just don't know. But this is a pretty major one for Warren collectors.
Okay,
I would
well,
say
I like
it's
that one. That was very good. Right, you've retrieved yourself from all the Spider-Mans now.
Okay.
Here we go. Incredible Hulk number one, a regular on the show.
Mhm.
Favorites of the Hulk.
But this one hasn't been performing that well lately.
No, it
Whenever
was
we
one
have it
of
on
the
the
ones
list.
actually immediately after COVID held up, and then it dropped off a bit recently.
Yeah. Um, this to me seems like a reasonable price. This is
Yeah,
kind of what I paid for my copy. So I bought a 2.0
yeah,
and I bought it for what would kind of translate to being about $8,000.
yeah.
So this is kind of like,
In line with that.
yeah. Um,
Let's have a look.
But that was, that was before COVID.
It's not great, Alan. Uh,
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying it's in line with what I paid, but I always try to
yeah,
get a
I
good
know, but
deal.
you didn't buy yours here, did you? You bought yours before that.
Yeah, I bought mine, I think 2019,
Yeah, so you'd
2020.
have paid, yeah, you'd have paid something. Yeah, so well, you could have got this one for $12,000 in 20,
Yeah. But mine's a 2.0 and this is a
yeah,
3.0. So
yeah, so it sounds about right. Yeah, so it's about the same price as it was in 2019, Alan.
yeah, which is sad. This one is way down. So I mean, the funny thing is it was really holding its own for a while
It
there, and
hold
now it's just
Yes, it did hold for a bit, but I'm afraid it's gone the way the rest of them have gone.
yeah, and this one looks like it's trying to find that bottom
It
again.
hasn't bottomed out yet, has it?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. And it's disappointing because of the Marvel keys, this is one of the hardest ones to get.
Yeah, and because it's quite low, isn't it? How many of them are there? 2-1, which is low for a Marvel number one.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I always felt like this one was like very grailish of the Marvel keys. Like it's always AF-15, but I would say maybe of the top five Marvel ones, it'd be like AF-15, Fantastic Four, and maybe this one would be next. I don't know what number three would be. What could you think of a different one? Maybe
I
X-Men?
definitely, well, I would have Fantastic Four 1 above AF-15 because it
Yeah,
was.
that's what I said. Yeah. So I said
I
that'd be
got a
my
Fantastic Four 1. I would, I'm afraid, have to agree with you that AF-15 is probably number two.
no. I'm thinking AF-15 is number one.
No, no, I agree. I disagree. I think FF1 is bigger than AF-15.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's more historical, but sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we agree on the top two. We just can't agree on the order. So number three, I think I might agree with you actually, Alan.
It might be Hulk one. Like, what else would there be? I
Uh,
mean, X-Men one
you
would be
got
the
X-Men
other.
one, but there's no. I would prefer Hulk one to X-Men one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Daredevil one again. I prefer Hulk.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I'm not even sure if that would make the top five. Daredevil one.
No.
Um,
What else we got? We've got
like Strange Tales 110, which is first Doctor Strange.
no.
See,
Uh,
that's not even close. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So
uh,
this would be it, right?
First appearance of Paste Pot Pete.
Or Tales of Suspense 39 would be another big one.
Oh yes, well, that's definitely in the top five, isn't it? Okay, yeah,
Yeah, and then we got I'm just looking at my wall. Journey into Mystery 83.
yeah,
But I would say Hulk is bigger than any of
yeah.
those ones.
I'm going to go with you. I think Hulk is number three.
Yeah, but in the comments, people can say what they think are the top three. I'd love to hear what people's opinions are.
Yeah. So Alan and I agree on the top three, but we've got one and two switched round.
Yeah. The only reason I put AF-15 higher than Fantastic Four, even though I agree significance wise, Fantastic Four is bigger, is that AF-15 sells for more.
Yeah, but that's just at the moment. Those things change. I think the historic perspective is that Fantastic Four one was the first, as you said, when we've had it up. It's the first. It's the Marvel. It's the comic that saved Marvel.
Yeah.
if we hadn't had Fantastic Four one, we probably wouldn't have had a AF-15 and a Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Um,
anyway, there we go. That is your lot for this week. Alan will be back next week. Hopefully, he'll do a bit more serious curating rather than just pulling off the
well,
top.
it still took a little bit of time to kind of because there was like, oh, this book is more expensive. So I got to remove the list, and I was just kind of,
No, I
you
do. I
know,
think it's worth just taking the top 10 every so often just to see.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you off.
Should
Uh,
I do the bottom 10 too?
no, don't do the bottom 10.
All the dollar bin books.
No, you just get well, that'll just depress me because I'll just think, damn it, why didn't I get those?
So, when I decided to do the top 10, actually, there was a few books that I felt sort of like, oh, I should almost include this just because it's a cool book. There was a few that were like, oh, these are really cool. Like there was a 9/8 Looney Tunes book.
Nice. Yeah.
It wasn't a big sale though. It was like 600 or something like that. And I was like, oh, but when do you ever see like a kid's book in a 9/8, But there was a few like that where I was like, that's kind of interesting. But I stuck to my guns on the top 10
Okay.
most expensive.
Well, excellent. That's your lot this week, guys. We'll be back next week, and we'll see you then. Have a good week.
Bye bye.